They say Sunday dinner was about abundance. But during the Jim Crow era, it was something else entirely. Sunday dinner was about dignity carved from scraps. Picture this. It's August 1952. Your pantry holds cornmeal, lard, and one piece of salt pork smaller than your fist. 6 children waiting at the table, church clothes still pressed. You haven't seen fresh meat in 3 weeks. Neckbones nearly gone? You innovate. These weren't poverty meals. These were love letters written in cast iron and wood smoke. Grandmothers documented these dishes in grease-stained notebooks. Church ladies recorded these recipes in whispered kitchen conversations. Today, I'm taking you back. When Sunday dinner wasn't about what you had, it was about what you could transform. Stay with me. These 20 forgotten dishes tell our grandmother's real survival story. Number 1, neckbones and rice. Martha Williams's youngest daughter showed symptoms of rickets. August 1948, South Memphis. The meat counter had sold out of everything except neckbones 35 cents for 3 pounds. But Martha noticed how marrow-rich those bones looked. She bought them anyway. Every last one. Martha gathered her Dutch oven from the back shelf. She boiled those neckbones in salted water first, skimming the foam that rose gray and thick. She poured that water out, started fresh with chicken broth saved from last Sunday. Added onions she'd dried herself, bell peppers from her sister's garden. The bones simmered 3 hours, meat softening, falling tender. Fat rendered golden into the broth, creating gravy thick enough to coat a spoon. During the Great Depression and Jim Crow era, neckbones provided protein when proper cuts cost a week's wages. This cut prevented malnutrition in families stretching $1 across 7 days. Neckbones became Sunday staples across every black neighborhood from Memphis to Chicago. Cheap bones becoming Sunday feast, slow heat creating fall-off-the-bone tenderness. That pot of neckbones meant more than nutrition. It meant Mama could still provide. Martha's neckbone recipe spread through Orange, Mound, women teaching women how to transform the undesirable into unforgettable. That knowledge traveling faster than gossip, slower than hunger. Neckbones and rice sustaining families from Beale Street to the Mississippi Delta. Every bite carried message. Resourcefulness turns rejection into reverence. Love simmers bones into sustenance. Survival cooks dignity from what others discard. Number 2, red beans and rice. Red beans, Monday's dried legumes. Salt pork. That's it. Soak overnight until beans swell double. Drain, add to pot with fresh water and that precious piece of salt pork. Simmer low, adding onions, bell pepper, garlic as beans soften. Stir occasionally, watching liquid reduce to creamy thickness. Beans break down, creating their own gravy. Salt pork rendering flavor into every bean. 3 hours later, serve over rice filling, rich, complete. James Buddy Jackson made his first pot in New Orleans. July 1935. 8 people in a shotgun house, only dried beans left, and 1 piece of preserved pork. This dish fed them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday 3 days straight on 50 cents of ingredients. During Reconstruction and beyond, red beans cost pennies per pound. Families needed calories and protein from minimal resources. Monday wash day meal became daily sustenance when money ran short. Slow cooking created creamy texture without cream. Beans providing fiber and protein. Salt pork rendering enough fat to satisfy hunger for hours. Simple process meaning less fuel needed, less time away from other work. Buddy's beans spread through the lower Ninth Ward. Wash day recipe becoming survival staple. Emergency meal evolving into Monday tradition, still honored in New Orleans homes today. Simplicity sustains life. One pot feeds many. Survival simmers hope from dried beans and salted meat. Would you cook the same pot 3 days running to keep your family fed? Drop a comment. I'm reading every one. Number 3, Salmon croquettes. Before the Depression, fresh fish from the market, breaded and fried golden. After October 1929, canned pink salmon, 40 cents a can, stretched with crackers and flour. Survival rewrote the Sunday menu. August 1933, when banks collapsed and factory jobs vanished. Dorothy Lee faced empty cupboards in her Chicago kitchen. Fresh fish had disappeared from her budget. Canned salmon remained. She opened that tin. Not fresh halibut, canned fish. Necessity made it special. Dorothy drained the salmon, removed the bones carefully. She'd save those for soup stock later. She flaked the meat into a bowl, added crushed crackers her children had smashed into crumbs. Mixed in one precious egg, chopped onion, bell pepper. Formed patties with floured hands, each one uniform and proud. Heated lard in her cast iron skillet until it shimmered. Fried those patties until golden brown on both sides. Crispy edges forming, fish smell filling her tiny kitchen. Not fresh, but honest and filling. During the Great Depression, canned salmon provided omega, 3 fatty acids and protein, when fresh fish cost 3 times as much. Government nutrition programs recommended salmon croquettes weekly to prevent pellagra and other deficiency diseases. Canned fish became staple protein across every black community in America. Fresh fish was delicate, expensive, fleeting. Canned salmon was shelf-stable, affordable, available. But canned salmon fed families through years of unemployment. Pragmatism tastes like survival. Dorothy's croquettes spread through Southside Chicago. Relief kitchen recipe becoming family tradition. Depression meal staying on Sunday tables long after prosperity returned. Her great-grandchildren still fry salmon patties every month. Every croquette carried message. Adaptation feeds families when tradition fails. Dignity fries in cast iron regardless of ingredients. Innovation turns canned goods into cherished memories. Would you have adapted like Dorothy Lee? Traded fresh fish for canned salmon? Or would you have refused to change your family's standards? Drop a comment. I want to know how far you'd go to survive. Number 4. Smothered pork chops. Thin pork chops. Flour. Lard. Onions. Pound chops thin with a mallet until nearly translucent. Season with salt, pepper, whatever spices you saved. Dredge in flour until coated completely. Heap lard in skillet until smoking. Fry chops fast, 2 minutes per side until golden. Remove. Add sliced onions to the same pan. Saute until soft, scraping up browned bits. Add flour, stir into paste. Pour in water slowly, whisking until gravy forms thick and brown. Return chops. Simmer covered 20 minutes until tender. Clara Thompson made her first batch in Birmingham, January 1937. 5 children. Husband laid off from the steel mill. Only 2 thin pork chops in the icebox, the cheapest cut at 12 cents per pound. Those chops fed her entire family that Sunday. During Jim Crow, thin pork chops cost half the price of thick ones. Families needed meat flavor and protein without meat counter prices. Smothering made tough cuts tender, stretched 2 chops into 6 servings. Pounding tenderized tough meat. Flour coating added substance. Gravy extended 2 chops across 7 plates. Long simmering time transformed cheap into tender. Clara's method spread through Birmingham's black churches. Sunday recipe becoming weeknight lifesaver. Smothering technique applied to everything chicken, liver, even vegetables when meat disappeared entirely. Transformation happens under pressure. 2 chops become 6 portions. Survival smothers hardship in homemade gravy. Number 5. Chicken backs and rice. Chicken backs the part butchers gave away free. The section white customers refused to buy. One quick look revealed why. Mostly bone, little meat, awkward shape. Rinse those backs thoroughly, removing loose skin. Place in large pot, cover with water, add salt. Boil hard 20 minutes, skimming foam constantly. Add onions, celery, carrots if you have them. Reduce heat, simmer 2 hours until meat falls from bone. Strain broth, pick meat from bones. There's more than you think. Use that golden broth to cook rice. Stir picked chicken back into rice when done. Rich, savory, completely free except for the rice. Henrietta Hattie Brown collected chicken backs every Saturday in Jackson, Mississippi, April 1941. The white butcher saved them for her, sometimes 10 pounds worth. She'd make Sunday rice that fed her family and 3 neighbors besides. During segregation, black customers received unwanted cuts. Chicken backs provided free protein and bone broth collagen when whole chickens cost 50 cents 2 days' wages. Smart cooks transformed refuse into Sunday centerpiece. Bone broth provided minerals and gelatin. Long cooking extracted every nutrient. Picked meat added texture to rice. Free protein, meaning money saved for rent and children's shoes. Hattie's chicken back rice became Jackson legend. Church ladies requesting her recipe at every potluck. Free food becoming signature dish that women served with pride, not shame. Every spoonful told story. Ingenuity extracts value from what others waste. Pride lives in transformation. Survival boils bones into golden broth. Number 6. Ham hocks and collard greens. Before emancipation, enslaved cooks flavored greens with small pieces of pork fat given as rations. After 1865, freed people chose ham hocks, intentionally turning former slave food into Sunday tradition. Reclamation transformed the menu. March 1946, when meat rations finally ended, but money remained tight. Samuel Green Sr. bought ham hocks in Atlanta 25 cents per pound, still the cheapest pork available. Greens from his mother's garden cost nothing. Together, they meant Sunday dinner. He chose ham hocks, not pork chops, smoked bones. Freedom tasted like choice. Samuel washed those greens 5 times, sandy grit floating away. He filled his biggest pot with water, dropped in 2 ham hocks, brought it to rolling boil. Added the greens by handfuls, each batch wilting down. Seasoned with salt, pepper, pinch of sugar to cut bitterness, splash of vinegar at the end. Simmered 3 hours, meat falling off bones, greens turning silky soft. That pot liquor turned dark green, smoky rich, nutritious enough to drink straight. During Reconstruction and Jim Crow, collard greens grew easily in southern gardens year-round. Ham hocks provided smoky flavor and some protein for pennies. This combination sustained families through every economic hardship from 1865 to 1965. Pork chops were expensive lean, what white folks ate. Ham hocks were affordable, fatty, deeply flavored. But ham hocks fed families every Sunday for a century. Choice tastes like empowerment. Samuel's greens became Atlanta tradition. Family recipe passing mother to daughter for 4 generations. Former survival food becoming cultural treasure, served at reunions and church homecomings. His great-granddaughter still cooks them New Year's Day. Every bite carried message. Choice reclaims what oppression assigned. Tradition honors ancestors who made do. Love simmers in cast iron passed down through generations. Number 7. Fried chicken livers. Chicken livers, cornmeal, hot grease. Rinse livers, pat dry, trim any green bile spots carefully. Season with salt, black pepper, paprika generously. Dredge in white cornmeal if you're fancy, yellow if you're practical. Heat lard in cast iron skillet to 350 degrees. Fry livers in batches, 3 minutes per side, until crispy outside, barely pink inside. Drain on brown paper bags. Serve immediately while grease still crackles. Willie Mae Jackson fried her first batch in Clarksdale, Mississippi, June 1944. The chicken farmer sold livers for 5 cents per pound, organs nobody else wanted. She fried 2 pounds, fed 9 people Sunday dinner. During wartime rationing, organ meats weren't rationed because white Americans rarely ate them. Liver provided iron and B vitamins black communities desperately needed. 15 cents bought protein for a week. Cornmeal coating created crispy texture. Quick frying preserved nutrients. Organ meat delivering concentrated nutrition at throwaway prices. Willie Mae's technique spread through the Delta. Saturday market specialty becoming Sunday delicacy. Church ladies requesting her fried livers at every fellowship dinner. Rejection becomes revelation. 5 cents of protein feeds 9 souls. Survival fries dignity from what others refuse. Would you try chicken livers to keep your family fed? Drop a comment. I'm reading every one. Number 8. Pig feet and black-eyed peas. Pig feet soaked in brine. Black-eyed peas, onions, vinegar. Rinse pig feet thoroughly, removing any stray hairs with a knife. Place in large pot, cover with water, add whole onion, bay leaves, peppercorns. Boil 3 hours until meat tender and gelatinous. In separate pot, cook black-eyed peas with ham hock until creamy. Serve pig feet alongside peas, with hot sauce and vinegar on the side. Tender, rich, completely satisfying. Roosevelt Rosie Williams, cooked pig feet every New Year's in Detroit. January 1950. Mississippi tradition, transplanted north during the Great Migration. Pig feet cost nothing, butchers threw them away. Black-eyed peas cost 10 cents per pound dried. Together they meant luck, prosperity, and full bellies. During migration, southern foodways moved north. Pig feet provided collagen and protein from parts white butchers discarded. New Year's tradition became weekly sustenance in urban black neighborhoods. Slow cooking broke down connective tissue. Gelatinous texture created richness without added fat. Peas and pig feet together, providing complete protein and lasting energy. Rosie's New Year's spread became Detroit legend. Southern tradition surviving in Northern City. Family gathering around foods that once meant bare survival, now meaning cultural connection and pride. Transformation requires time. Tough becomes tender through patience. Survival stews tradition into every pot. Number 9. Chitlins. Chitlins. Before urbanization, rural families butchered their own hogs, used every part, or starved. After city migration, chitlins connected displaced Southerners to home, to sacrifice, to roots. Nostalgia transformed the controversial. November 1958, when Chicago winters reminded Southern migrants how far they'd traveled. Alberta Johnson bought 10 pounds of chitlins pig intestines, thoroughly cleaned by the butcher. Her children hated the smell. Her husband questioned the choice. She cleaned them anyway. She chose chitlins. Not roast beef, intestines. Memory tasted like home. Alberta rinsed those chitlins in cold water 10 times, cutting away any remaining fat. Boiled them with onions, celery, bay leaves, whole peppercorns, apple cider vinegar to cut the smell. Changed the water twice during 4-hour simmer. Finally tender, she cut them into strips, dipped in cornmeal batter, fried until crispy. The smell that made her children complain? To Alberta, it smelled like Mississippi Sundays, like her mother's kitchen, like sacrifice honored. During slavery and Reconstruction, enslaved and freed people received pig intestines as rations parts slave owners refused. Thorough cleaning and long cooking made them edible. Eating chitlins became a badge of cultural identity, linked to ancestors who survived on scraps. Roast beef was expensive, socially acceptable, what white America ate. Chitlins were cheap, controversial, deeply significant. But chitlins connected displaced people to their ancestors' resilience. Identity tastes like chosen hardship. Alberta's chitlin tradition survived 3 generations. Thanksgiving ritual bringing family together despite initial resistance. Food once born of necessity becoming intentional cultural preservation. Her grandchildren eating chitlins to honor where they came from. Every bite carried message. Heritage matters more than comfort. Identity simmers in pots our ancestors stirred. Love honors struggle by remembering what survival required. Would you have kept cooking chitlins in the city? Or left that tradition behind? Drop a comment. I want to know how you honor your roots. Number 10. Neck meat stew scraps. Potato peelings. Carrot ends. What others threw away. Collect beef neck meat from the butcher free, or nearly so. Brown chunks in hot lard. Add water, bring to boil. Throw in every vegetable scrap, save that weak potato peelings, onion ends, celery leaves, carrot tops, turnip greens, whatever grew or got saved. Season with salt, pepper, bay leaf. Simmer 4 hours until meat falls apart, vegetables disintegrate into thick stew. Serve over rice or with cornbread. Garbage becoming Sunday dinner. Essie Mae Thomas made neck meat stew in Mobile, February 1943. War rationing meant no meat unless you had stamps. She collected vegetable scraps all week in a bowl by the sink. Saturday morning, she asked the butcher for neck meat. He gave her 3 pounds free. During wartime, meat rationing affected black families hardest. Neck meat and vegetable scraps provided nutrition without ration stamps. Long cooking extracted every vitamin and mineral from parts others discarded. Browning created depth of flavor. Vegetable scraps added vitamins and bulk. 4-hour simmer, breaking everything down into thick, hearty stew that satisfied hunger and stretched $1 impossibly far. Essie's stew became Mobile tradition. Wartime recipes staying on tables decades after peace returned. Women teaching daughters to save scraps. Honor waste, not wisdom. Make something from nothing. Refuse becomes nourishment. Scraps saved all week create Sunday feast. Survival stews dignity from other people's garbage. Number 11. Salmon patties with white gravy. 2 cans salmon, flour, crackers, milk. Drain salmon, reserve liquid. Flake meat, mix with crushed crackers, egg, chopped onion. Form into 8 patties. Fry in hot grease until golden brown both sides. Remove, keep warm. Add flour to remaining grease. Stir into roux. Pour in milk slowly, whisking until gravy forms thick and white. Add salmon liquid for flavor. Pour gravy over patties. Simple filling stretched across many plates. Thomas T. J. Miller made these every Friday in Philadelphia. September 1961. Catholic rules said no meat on Fridays. Canned salmon cost less than fish at market. 2 cans, $1 total, fed his family of 7 plus 2 elderly neighbors. During post-war urban poverty, salmon patties satisfied both religious requirements and budget constraints. White gravy extended portions, added calories, satisfied hunger when salmon alone wouldn't fill growing children. Crackers stretched expensive salmon. Gravy doubled serving size. Salmon liquid adding flavor without cost. $2 feeding 9 people completely. TJ's Friday salmon spread through his neighborhood. Catholic tradition merging with economic necessity. Fish Friday becoming salmon patty night across Black Philadelphia. Extension multiplies impact. 2 cans become 9 servings. Survival fries frugality into family tradition. Number 12. Smothered cabbage with salt pork, 1 cabbage head. 1 piece salt pork smaller than your palm. Onion. Water. Chop cabbage rough, don't be precious about it. Cut salt pork into small cubes. Render in Dutch oven until fat pools golden. Add onions. Cook until soft. Throw in cabbage by handfuls, stirring as it wilts. Season with black pepper salt pork, provides enough salt. Add cup of water, cover tight. Simmer 30 minutes until cabbage melts soft and sweet. That 1 piece of pork flavoring entire pot. Before mechanization, fresh vegetables required gardens and labor. After city migration, cabbage was cheapest vegetable in corner stores year-round. Necessity transformed the tradition. May 1955, when spring cabbage cost 5 cents per head in Baltimore. Ruth Ann Foster bought 3 heads 15 cents worth to feed her family all week. 1 piece of salt pork, saved from last Sunday, would flavor every pot. She bought cabbage, not lettuce, hearty greens. Urban poverty tasted like affordable. Ruth cut that cabbage into rough chunks, her knife moving fast from practice. She diced the salt pork small, rendered it slowly in her heavy pot, watching white fat turn clear. Added onions her daughter brought from school garden. Piled in cabbage, seeing it wilt down to 1/4 the volume. Added water, covered it, let thyme and salt pork work their magic. 30 minutes later, cabbage had transformed sweet, silky, rich beyond its 5-cent cost. During urban migration, fresh vegetables were scarce in food desserts. Cabbage stored well, cost little, grew in cool weather when other vegetables failed. 1 piece of salt pork flavored pounds of vegetables, providing some fat and protein. Lettuce was delicate, expensive white people's salad. Cabbage was hearty, cheap, filling. But cabbage fed families 3 meals for 1 head. Practicality tastes like wisdom. Ruth's smothered cabbage became Baltimore standard. Corner store vegetable becoming Sunday side dish. Depression recipe surviving into prosperity because families genuinely loved it. Her grandchildren still cook cabbage with salt pork every winter. Every serving carried message. Simple ingredients become sublime through technique. Poverty doesn't determine flavor. Love simmers in the space between 5 cents and satisfaction. Number 13. Oxtails and gravy. Oxtails before they became expensive. Before food trends discovered them. When butchers sold them cheap because Americans didn't understand what slow cooking could do. Rinse oxtails, pat dry completely. Season heavily with salt, pepper, garlic powder. Brown in hot oil on all sides until deeply caramelized. Remove. Add onions, carrots, celery to pot. Saute until soft. Return oxtails. Add beef broth to cover. Add bay leaves, thyme. Cover tight. Simmer 3 hours or braise in oven at 300 degrees until meat falls from bone. Skim fat. Reduce braising liquid into thick, rich gravy. Serve over rice. Meat so tender you barely need teeth. Beatrice B. Carter raised oxtails in Houston, October 1947. Her husband worked construction irregular pay, dangerous work. Oxtails cost 20 cents per pound when beef roast cost 60 cents. She bought 5 pounds, stretched them across 3 Sunday dinners. Before food trends made them expensive, oxtails were considered scrap meat. Long braising turned tough into tender, released collagen into silk, created rich gravy from bones. Poor families' discount cut produced restaurant-quality results. Browning created flavor foundation. Long braising broke down connective tissue into gelatin. Bone marrow enriching gravy naturally. 3 hours creating luxury from poverty. B's oxtails became Houston famous. Depression-era recipes staying relevant through decades. When food magazines discovered oxtails in the 1990s, Black grandmothers laughed. They'd been cooking them since forever. Now oxtails cost 3 times what they did in 1947. Patience creates tenderness. Overlooked becomes celebrated. Survival braises poverty into richness. If you're still watching, you're tougher than most. Hit like if these survival stories hit different. Number 14. Fried fish, whiting or catfish. Whole whiting fish. Cornmeal. Hot grease. Friday night necessity. Clean fish thoroughly, leaving head on if you're traditional. Score sides 3 times diagonally. Season with salt, black pepper, paprika, garlic powder generously. Dredge in white cornmeal must be cornmeal. Flour doesn't create that crunch. Heat lard or oil, in cast iron to 375 degrees. Fry fish 4 minutes per side until golden brown, cornmeal coating crisp and craggy. Drain on newspaper. Serve immediately with hot sauce, white bread, and whatever sides you managed. George Fishman Williams fried whiting every Friday in Newark. July 1962. He sold plates from his apartment window 50 cents each, supplementing factory wages. Whiting cost 15 cents per pound at the docks. He'd fry 100 fish every Friday night. During Catholic Meatless Fridays and beyond, fried fish became black community tradition. Whiting was cheapest fish available, especially for inland cities. Fried fish replaced more expensive protein, satisfied religious requirements, and became cultural touchstone. Cornmeal coating created crunch without expensive breading. Whole fish maximized protein per dollar. High heat frying meant fast turnaround, more plates sold per hour. George's Fish Fry became Newark institution. Apartment window becoming Friday night restaurant. Working people lining up for affordable fish plates that satisfied body and soul. His corner became community gathering place. Necessity becomes tradition. 50 cents feeds family. Survival fries community in cast iron. Number 15. Liver and onions. Beef liver, the organ meat white Americans refused. The cut that cost less than any muscle meat. The protein source that tasted like iron and earth. Slice liver thin. Soak in milk 30 minutes to reduce strong flavor. Pat dry thoroughly. Season with salt, pepper generously. Dredge in flour lightly. Heat butter and oil together in skillet. Fry liver quickly. 2 minutes per side. Overcooking makes it tough. Remove. Keep warm. Add sliced onions to same pan. Cook until caramelized and sweet. Pour over liver. Serve immediately while liver stays tender. Before nutrition science, people ate liver because it was cheap. After vitamin research, doctors prescribed liver for anemia, especially for pregnant women and growing children. Knowledge transformed the tradition. June 1949, when Dr. Williams told Louise Patterson her daughter needed iron immediately or face serious consequences. Montgomery, Alabama. Iron supplements cost money Louise didn't have. Beef liver cost 12 cents per pound, cheapest protein at the butcher. She bought liver, not steak. Organ meat. Medical necessity tasted like poverty. Louise sliced that liver paper thin, soaked it in milk her neighbor gave her, dredged it in flour, fried it quickly in the butter she'd saved all week. Added onions until they turned soft and golden, their sweetness cutting liver's strong flavor. Her daughter ate it without complaint. Children knew when food meant more than taste, when mama's worry seasoned every bite more than salt. During mid-century, liver was recognized as nutritional powerhouse iron. B12, folate, vitamin A. Doctors recommended it for anemia, especially affecting black mothers and children. At 12 cents per pound, it was prescribed nutrition poor families could afford. Steak was tender, mild, socially acceptable. Liver was strong-flavored, odd-textured, stigmatized. But liver prevented anemia and treated deficiencies when doctors' prescriptions cost more than the cure. Health tastes like sacrifice. Louise's liver recipe spread through her church. Medical necessity becoming weekly tradition. Women teaching daughters that strong flavor meant strong blood, that weird texture meant healthy children. Some families still cook liver every week, honoring when it meant life or sickness. Every bite carried message. Nutrition matters more than preference. Health lives in foods you choose despite distaste. Love fries necessity into medicine served on plates. Number 16. Hot water cornbread. Cornmeal, hot water, salt, nothing else. Boil water in kettle. Mix cornmeal and salt in bowl. Pour boiling water over cornmeal. Stir until thick paste forms. Let cool slightly. Heat grease in skillet until smoking. Drop cornmeal mixture by spoonfuls into hot grease. Flatten with fork. Fry until crispy brown on both sides. Drain. Serve immediately while crackling hot. 3 ingredients becoming Sunday bread. Before wheat flour was common, cornmeal was what enslaved people received as rations. After emancipation, cornmeal remained cheapest grain available. Continuity transformed the legacy. January 1951, when flour prices jumped 20 cents per bag in Atlanta, Mary Louise Hendricks couldn't afford flour. She had cornmeal 10 cents per pound. Boiling water cost nothing. Her grandmother's recipe needed only those 2 ingredients. She used cornmeal, not flour, coarse grain. Poverty tasted like tradition. Mary boiled water, watching it roll into furious bubbles. Poured it over cornmeal, stirred as it swelled into thick paste. Heated lard in her oldest cast iron skillet seasoned black from decades of use. Spooned cornmeal mixture into grease, heard it sizzle and pop. Flattened each round with a fork. Flicked them when edges turned golden and crisp. The smell filled her kitchen corn and hot grease, simple and honest. During slavery and Reconstruction, enslaved and freed people received cornmeal as basic ration. Hot water cornbread required no wheat flour, no milk, no eggs, only what was freely available. This recipe fed generations when nothing else existed. Wheat flour was refined, expensive, what masters ate. Cornmeal was coarse, cheap, what slaves received. But cornmeal sustained people through centuries of hardship. Heritage tastes like yellow grain and boiling water. Mary's hot water cornbread became family requirement. Flour bread appearing on her table plenty, but hot water cornbread staying present every Sunday. Her great-granddaughters fry it now, teaching their children that some foods honor struggle too important to forget. Every piece carried message. Simple sustains when complex fails. Tradition lives in recipes that can't be forgotten. Survival fries identity in 3 ingredients. Number 17. Crackling cornbread. Cornmeal, pork cracklings, fried pork skin, water, salt. Render pork fat slowly until skin pieces turn crispy and brown. Remove cracklings, chop rough. Mix cornmeal, salt, chopped cracklings together. Add enough hot water to form thick batter. Heat grease in skillet. Pour in batter, spread even. Bake or fry until edges pull from pan and top sets firm. Cut into squares. Serve hot. Waste becoming richness. Willie Boy Johnson made crackling cornbread in rural Georgia. December 1946. Hog Killing Day meant using every part waste, not what not. Pork skin after rendering lard became cracklings. Mixed into cornbread, they added protein, fat, flavor to otherwise plain bread. After hog slaughter, every part had purpose. Cracklings were byproduct of lard rendering. Mixed into cornbread, they provided fat and protein when meat was scarce between butcherings. Pork skin adding rich, crispy texture. Fat rendering into cornbread as it baked. Waste transformed into special occasion bread that children requested by name. Willie's crackling bread became Georgia tradition. Hog killing recipes spreading through rural communities. Special bread made only when hogs were slaughtered, making it Christmas treat and family celebration. Nothing wasted means everything used. Byproduct becomes delicacy. Survival bakes waste into treasure. Number 18. Sugar bread, white bread, butter, sugar. Childhood Sunday treat. Take slice of soft white bread. Spread with butter thick if times are good, thin if they're not. Sprinkle white sugar generously over butter. Fold in half. Press edges together. Eat immediately while sugar crunches and butter melts. Simple joy costing 5 cents. Little James Wilson received sugar bread every Sunday in Savannah, August 1953, after church, before Sunday dinner started. His grandmother's ritual 1 slice of sweetness before the meal. White bread cost 10 cents per loaf. Sugar and butter pennies more. But that one sweet slice meant love, consistency, special. During tight budgets, elaborate desserts required eggs, flour, milk, time. Sugar bread provided sweetness for pennies. Sunday treat teaching children delayed gratification and making ordinary special. 3 ingredients creating childhood memory. Butter making bread rich. Sugar adding celebration to everyday ingredient. Simple ritual teaching value of small pleasures. Sugar bread became Southern tradition. Grandmothers giving it to grandchildren across decades. 3-ingredient treat meaning more than its simplicity suggested. Generations remembering butter, sugar, love. Small gestures create meaning. 3 ingredients become memories. Survival sweetens ordinary into extraordinary. Would you try sugar bread to remember simpler times? Comment below. Number 19. Bread pudding. Stale bread too hard to eat. Milk going sour. Eggs maybe too. Sugar, what's left in the bag. Sunday dessert from Saturday's leftovers. Tear stale bread into chunks. Place in buttered baking dish. Heat milk. Pour over bread until soaked. Beat eggs with sugar. Vanilla if you have it. Cinnamon, nutmeg. Pour over soaked bread, pressing down so everything moistens. Dot with butter if any remains. Bake at 350 degrees 45 minutes until top browns golden and center sets. Serve warm. Garbage becoming Sunday dessert. Evelyn Moore baked bread pudding in Detroit, March 1960. Friday's bread gone stale. Saturday's milk turning. Sunday needed dessert, but money couldn't stretch to cake. She tore that hard bread, poured the questionable milk, beat 2 eggs. 45 minutes later, dessert appeared. Before refrigeration was common, stale bread and turning milk were weekly realities. Bread pudding salvaged both before total waste. Sunday dessert from ingredients that would otherwise hit the garbage. Milk softening hard bread. Eggs binding everything together. Sugar transforming waste into dessert children actually wanted. Evelyn's bread pudding became Detroit's standard. Waste not recipe spreading through Great Migration communities. Thrifty dessert proving sweet didn't require fresh ingredients or big budgets. Waste transforms through heat. Stale becomes special. Survival bakes dignity from what others discard. Number 20. Kool-Aid pie Kool-Aid packet. Condensed milk. Cool Whip. Graham cracker crust. Mix 1 packet unsweetened Kool-Aid powder with 1 sweetened condensed milk. Stir until smooth and thickened. Fold in Cool Whip until fluffy and light. Pour into Graham cracker crust. Refrigerate 4 hours until set. Slice. Serve cold. Depression-era innovation costing $1 total. Regina Gina Foster made her first Kool-Aid pie in Los Angeles, July 1968, her daughter's birthday. No money for bakery cake. The corner store sold Kool-Aid packets for 10 cents. She had condensed milk in the pantry. Cool Whip cost 39 cents. Graham cracker crust 50 cents. $1.09 total for birthday dessert serving 8. During post-war poverty, traditional pies required fresh fruit, butter, multiple eggs, time. Kool-Aid pie used shelf-stable ingredients, required no baking, cost under $2. Bright colors made children happy when happiness was expensive. Condensed milk providing sweetness and body. Kool-Aid adding flavor and shocking color. Cool Whip creating light texture. No oven needed, meaning no extra utility cost. Gina's Kool-Aid pie became Los Angeles legend. Birthday innovation spreading through every black neighborhood. Mothers teaching daughters that love shows up in dollar store ingredients mixed with intention. That bright pink or electric blue pie saying, "I found a way." Ingenuity tastes like artificial strawberry. $1 creates celebration. Survival whips innovation into something sweet. These 20 Sunday dinners tell our grandmother's real story. Not poverty, dignity, not lack, innovation, not shame, pride, pride, not shame, pride. That's a real story. Not poverty, dignity, not lack, innovation, not shame, pride. Martha's Neckbones, Dorothy's Salmon Croquettes, Alberta's Chitlins, Mary Louise's hot water cornbread, Gina's Kool-Aid pie. Every single dish screaming the same truth. He made a way out of no way. They cooked love into cast iron, stirred resilience into pots, fried hope in yesterday's grease. Those Sunday tables held more than food. They held proof that we survive, we adapt, we overcome. Our grandmothers didn't cook from almost nothing. They cooked from everything that mattered. Wisdom, creativity, determination, and love that stretched further than any dollar ever could. If these stories touched you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more forgotten history. And drop a comment telling me which dish your grandmother made. I'm reading every single one. These recipes deserve to be remembered. Our grandmothers deserve to be honored. Now go call your grandmother. Ask her what she cooked when times were hard. Record her answer. That's history worth saving.